all these trips, I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live, I don't know what they mad for. I just signed a deal and got a really big bag for it. You still at your mama crib and getting money, you gotta ask for it. I got tired of complaining, I gotta change my situation. Looking at the view outside, I thought I would never make it. Every day they take, but that don't stop the money making. If you want it, go and take it, ain't no point in hesitating. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. I just got bags from...
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Go! Let's go! First and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Ready! Blue ready! Hey, eat! Watch the screen! Watch the screen! Watch the screen! Check! Crunch! Let me go!
They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
We own them! Check the backer! Wait! Let me go!
On second down now, it's Coleman. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Jameis to throw it. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Winston now finding Godwin, complete. Looked like man coverage, able to read it there on the outside for the completion. That'll be something to track as the game goes along here.
It certainly will, and there's so many different ways that they will try to figure out whether they're in man or zone. Sometimes you'll run a guy in motion to see if someone runs with him. Other times you'll empty out the backfield, spread it out, and see if everyone comes out and matches up. In any event, anytime you see man coverage, you tell your guys you've got to win those matchups, because if you do, you'll get the football and probably for a nice game.
A first down throw for Winston. Going for Evans, but that pass is intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is when we find out what he has underneath that jersey, because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains.
Brings up second and 12.
91.
46-yard line.
Watch the boot, watch the boot. 5.
Here's a quick throw to Thielen. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
It's a party now. It's a party now. Hey, Mike 51, Mike 51. I got him. Mike 51, Mike 51. Run it. He's coming, he's coming, he's coming. We got rock it, get it.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Corey Vedvik now set to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. And you know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. They find some open field here. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. Suddenly it's first and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here.
Yeah.
They'll run with Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Here's a ball thrown right side and complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Wait. You must be getting tired of seeing me. Here we go.
First down, Winston. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Let's go. Mike 54.
Winston now. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch.
Complete to Albert Wilson. It's a pickup of 13. Leads to 3rd down and 3.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
Let's go, defense. Here we go. Sonic. 59. Here we go.
Here's Winston. He's got Evans. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. A familiar ring to that one. Winston to Evans for the Buccaneer first.
First down. First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59.
Play fake. Winston. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. 1st down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row, I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
On 1st down, Coleman. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Check. Walk 54. Walk 54. It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time. Check. Hey, stop. Right there. 54 Mike.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
First time into the red zone for the Buccaneers. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Here's Coleman. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Play action now. Winston. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
When you get your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
And Gay knocks this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now.
Squeeze.
Throwing on 1st down. Weeks. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
First down.
Looking to throw. Weeks. Going deep for Diggs. This is caught inside the 15. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 45 yards. And that's now 2 big catches on this drive for him.
You know, the NFL keeps talking about the possibility of using video for coaching on the sidelines. That's not approved yet, but you can still use pictures. They've got to send his picture down to their defense and say, you see him? Cover him.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Set. 60 or 55. Mike 51. Mike 51.
On 3rd down, Weeks looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. And his kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, That answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the gun, it's a handoff to Coleman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's Winston. Open man has got it. It's complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going. Out of bounds.
And the Buccaneers, first down. 1st and 10 at the 38.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Check.
Winston. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Check. Watch 54. I want that. Give me that ball, defense. Hey. 5 on it. Let's go.
They'll run on first down. It's Coleman, and that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
2nd and 11 at the 50-yard line.
Ready? 50 blue ready. 54 Mike. Let's go.
Winston now from the 50. That's caught by Howard. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Ready. Flag. Put it down. Mike 4. Oh, here we go. Oh. SOS. Come on. Sunday. SOS.
Off the play fake, Winston. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. They go play action. Winston going to look deep for this is caught inside the 15. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That one goes for 30 yards. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker. We're holding on to the lead at this stage in the second half. Those are the types of plays you really want to try and stay away from.
And when you're a rookie, keeping your focus is something that you still have to work on all the time because there's so many distractions around you between the crowd noise and your coaches and your teammates. But the other part, you've got to learn how to finish. The 2 Fs for a rookie quarterback.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll run here with Coleman out of the gun. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Ready? Blue waiting. Check, flip it. Check 59, Mike.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There was nothing available there for him.
And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They run it again with Cook. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Here we go. 50, plant. 51,
back to throw. Weeks. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. And Diggs has it. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered. It's both feet down for the completion.
Well, a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
On second down, it's Coleman. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there. On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Ready? First and 10 at the 41-yard line. Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
Winston now to throw on first down. He completes it to Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space.
Wait.
On first down, Coleman. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They will run again with Coleman. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
It's 3rd down and 4.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right, they did pick up the first down there, but
and he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Mike Evans with touchdown number 8 on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is taken at his 4. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a 1-possession game. This one not fully over yet. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the
line on 2nd and 10.
15 line.
Throwing again. Weeks. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 42. A much better effort we're seeing from him under center this week versus last week when he threw 4 picks.
He has thrown the 1 in this game, but you're right. When you cut it down from 4 the previous week, and we always talk about adjustments, well, he made some in practice, and he continues to work on it during the game. I'm sure he's getting plenty of reminders about how to stay in the moment, stay focused on the task.
And he's got him in the driver's seat here in the 4th quarter. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine.
Right here, guys. Mike 51. Mike 51. Come on, dude. Shit. Hey, Sam up. 5.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Weeks. Flushed out right. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Even though that one was incomplete, you could see the training that went into that play. He gets out of the pocket, ends up moving to his right. All he's trying to do, though, extend the life of the play. Keep it alive, hoping someone would pop free.
Was able to take a pretty good shot with a deep ball, but incomplete. To throw on 3rd down. Weeks. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is caught inside the 5. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started.
Switch up. Watch twist. Hey, stop.
They begin the drive with Coleman. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. 3rd and long for Winston. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Danielle Hunter in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Bucs go for it. It's Winston. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it first and goal in a game that appears to have... And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Jameis to throw it. He's going to let it fly. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Brashad Perriman, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bucs are able to cut in now to that deficit. This time, the extra point up and good. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4.
We got this. The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They start the drive with Cook. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And that's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game.
Hey, let's get in there. Let's get in there. Check, takes 3. 218, chop it. 45 to Mike. 45 to Mike. Ready?
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 38, and they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Well, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Vikings, they inch closer to respectability now at 3-6 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Buccaneers, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4.